عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I hope you're all doing well today. Alhamdulillah, it's a very beautiful day out. So every video, I ask myself, who is your audience? Specific video, honestly and truthfully, it's not for just anyone that's watching a random YouTube video. This is for that specific person that has been through so much hurt in their life, that's been through so much pain, that they've thought about ending their lives. This is for that person that really never had anybody to reach out to them, that would look at their phone and scroll up and down the contacts and they didn't really have anyone to contact. This is for that person that doesn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and that can't swim upwards because they're drowning so deep. And before I say anything, I know that in my videos I talk so much about spirituality and religiosity and getting closer to Allah SWT and feeling the sila and feeling the bond and the jugular vein, and you guys have heard it all, but that doesn't negate whatever you're going through. You don't have something that doesn't exist. Something is wrong. If you're thinking of ending your life, it's because there's a chemical imbalance in your brain and you need psychiatric evaluation and you need medication, and there is no stigma associated with it. If anything, you're just stronger. And I'm only saying that because as Muslims, unfortunately, we are in the time of jahiliyyah. We have this jahl. But our jahl is about mental health. And there's this ignorance associated with mental health, that it's in your head and it doesn't exist. Or you're crazy if you're going through something like depression. And depression can lead to suicidal thoughts. And it's jahl. It's just because somebody else is ignorant and they don't know better and they're not educated enough to know not to be judgmental doesn't mean that you should dismiss your emotions and that you should dismiss your feelings. Whatever it is that you're prescribed, whatever it is that is ordained onto you by your physician is what you should do. I also think that you should also watch my videos and do both things to help you, to uplift you. And I understand pain, and I understand heartache, and I understand what it feels like to be lonely, and I understand what it feels like to not really have anyone relate to you or understand you. I understand. I empathize, and I care. And I just want you to think about something. And so now I talk to you about the preventative, which is to seek mental health. And then I told you about spirituality. And then I told you that I cared about you. And now I'm going to tell you something else. I'm going to talk to you about religion. And I'm not going to tell you that it's haram, because it is. But I'm not just going to tell you that it's haram. I'm going to tell you that every time you smile at someone, every time you open the door for someone, every time you do any good deed that is adding up to your legacy, you single-handedly press the delete button on everything You wipe it all clean. And when you die, that's all people are going to know. That person died. They're not going to sit there and talk about how kind you were, how generous you were, how loving you were. You have this idea that if you were to inflict harm onto yourself, that people are going to sit in a circle and feel guilty and feel sorry for what they did or how they treated you, and that they're going to be like, I wish I saw how this person was. First of all, even if that is the case and people did finally notice you, what's the point if you're not going to be there? What's the point if you're not even going to be there? And let me tell you, why do you want 5 minutes of fame? One, when you're not even going to be there to witness it. And two, when it's just going to be 5 minutes. And I know that sounds so hurtful and it sounds so like just crude almost for me to say, but it's the truth. So that's one. I think here's the problem. Like sometimes if I'm going through something, last night was completely different than right this very moment. Last night I was really sad and I was going through something. But right now, I'm okay, I'm better. But last night I was sad. And what I'm saying is that right now I'm able to look at the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and appreciate them and acknowledge them. And at this moment, I've been spending all day with my wonderful boys, and life could literally not get better. But last night, my boys were asleep and I was sad. And all three of my boys were asleep and I was sad. And it's just, I'm just saying that when you're going through like a really dark tunnel, you're in a tunnel, you can't see anything else. And you're just like in this claustrophobic space. And all you can envision is all the bad, all the blackness, all the smoke. Just, that's all you can see. That's all you can think of. You can't even breathe. You're claustrophobic. You're in this tunnel. And it's just tunnel vision that you see. And lo and behold, you're like this close to crawling at the end of the tunnel. Like literally, like the next morning you'll be better. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how bad it is, no matter how deep you are in rock bottom, the next day, the next 2 days, the next week, it's going to get better. It will. And speaking of dark, claustrophobic spaces, I want to talk to you about our beloved Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam, who was literally and physically engulfed inside the belly of a whale. And he had no way out, literally and physically. And he was like, God knows what goes on in the gut of a whale, but I honestly, you can't contemplate, you can't imagine. And when I think of this story, I think, what is the hikmah of that? Why is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like, what is he trying to send in this story? And the beauty of the Quran is that you can see it however you want to. I think so. I think if there's hikmah and you can seek it, then that's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's personal sila to you, and it's between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not saying you can translate it however you want. I'm saying with whatever translation is given to you, you can use it according to whatever you're going on in your life. Get it? So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala literally put Yunus alayhi salam in this physical restraint, in this physical space that he couldn't get out of. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did show him the way out, literally and physically. And the reason why I keep emphasizing literally and physically is because even though Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put these metaphors throughout the Quran, it doesn't mean that they're just metaphors. It means that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to send us a message. And like I said, in whatever way we can grasp onto it, that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is trying to reach to our hearts. Inshallah. Inshallah. So it's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows what you're going through. And that's why He sent you Surah Yunus alayhi salatu wassalam. And just think about Yusuf alayhi salam, who was in a very, very, very deep, deep well into the ground. He had blood on him, you know. He looked like he was dead. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala still sent someone on a carriage to get him out. And he ended up becoming very wealthy and prosperous and made a very good life for himself. And he ended up meeting with his siblings that did everything to him. And they ended up apologizing. The point is that you should read the Quran. You know, I'm trying to like walk this fine line of not dismissing what you're going through, because there is a chemical imbalance in your brain, but at the same time, I feel like spirituality is gonna help you, and I feel like the Quran will help you. So do both. Do both. I don't want people to think that, oh my God, Rila's so ignorant and she's so like in jahiliyyah mode and whatever. I'm not. I get it. Bil'aks, I'm telling you, get help. But I get it. And I understand what you're going through. And I'm sorry that you're going through this. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reaching out to you. And if He's not reaching out to you, if you clicked on this video, that's proof that He's reaching out to you. I don't believe in things being random. I don't believe that something is random. That I just want you to know that people, they don't always say thank you. They don't always say I'm sorry. They don't always look into your eyes and tell you that they love you. But they do. But they do. And the one thing I can really tell you is that every second that you live, every second that you're on this earth for, is every second you are carrying out to your legacy. Every single action that you do has the potential to become sadaqah jariyah. And I was listening last night to Noman Ali Khan, and he was saying that Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam, his dua was to ask for first forgiveness. This is a lecture by Noman Ali Khan. And so first he said you should ask for forgiveness, that Sulaiman alayhi salatu wassalam said. And the second thing, do you know what he asked for? He asked for a kingdom. A kingdom so large, bigger than what he already had, because mashallah, he was very prosperous and wealthy. Bigger than what he already had. And the reason for that, so big that the future, that anyone after him, he didn't want to compete with his sadaqah jariyah. And he was a prophet of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And he was worried that he couldn't have, this is all Noman Ali Khan, by the way. And he was worried that everything that he did in his life wouldn't be enough to equate to his akhirah. And subhanAllah, he was saying that this kingdom was going to serve as sadaqah jariyah for him. And so that's why I'm telling you that religiosity is a big part of that faragh. And it's going to help along with spirituality. Because it's helpful to have something to push you, which is the akhirah. Push yourself towards the akhirah. Just, fine, press pause on the dunya. Just press pause. Just be like, you know what? Screw it. My life sucks. Just press pause on the dunya. This is me again. She didn't say that. But press pause on the dunya. And then just like shift your energy to the akhirah. And shift your everything for the sidaqah jariyah that you have the potential. Oh my God, you have the potential to do so much. You know this video? Why do you think I did this YouTube thing? Because I want a legacy. I smile at people because I want a legacy. I want after I die, I want people to be like, I remember that she had such a beautiful smile. But if I killed myself right now, do you know what people would say? They'd be like, it was really sad. It's a shame. She had so much to offer. And that's it. That's it. Don't you want more? Don't you want more? Don't you want people to like just their hearts and their swim upward? I know it's hard. I know it's hard to swim upward when you're so deep. But you have the potential to do so much. And just imagine football fields. Not one, but 2 or 3 filled with janazah, filled with people attending your janazah. This is if you live for your legacy. Live every second for your legacy. Okay? So that's what I want you to hold on to. But I want you to seek help because I think you have the potential to do so much and to contribute so much. And whatever you're going through is a hikmah. Is a hikmah for what you can offer. Whatever you're going through is a hikmah for what you can become. It's a hikmah. If you're drowning and you swim upward, you learn how to swim so well that you become a bodyguard. Right? Become a bodyguard. Think of someone else. Think of the life that you can change. Okay? Cheer up. It's because I want to reach a soul. I just want to reach one soul. I just want to touch someone. I just want people to know that there's hope. And I want to teach other people how to be better people. You know? So we can all just help each other and uplift one another. And you know, with that I conclude. And thank you so much for listening. والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر.